Lie with Statistics. How to Lie with Statistics, the most popular book ever written in the field of statistics, is arguably about the most common way that statistics are actually used. Arthur Darrell Huff acknowledged the book could be, quote, a manual for swindlers, but concluded, quote, crooks already know these tricks. The crooks and the examples of statistical deceptions referenced by Huff are not sleazy underworld types. They are professionals in the fields of advertising, marketing, public relations, partisan politics, opinion polling, and market research. After World War II, these professions gained enormous power and authority over popular views and behavior. Huff explained how the use of statistics could add a, quote, spurious air of scientific precision to absurd claims or erroneous conclusions that a common sense observation or a more careful examination would quickly reveal as nonsense or dangerously false. He gave special attention to the misleading but visually powerful charts, graphs, and other data-based representations, the so-called infographics, that can serve as, quote, fluent, devious, and successful liars. Written in 1954, Huff's book, with illustrations by collaborator Irving Geis, maintained a humorous tone, but took the power and misuse of statistics very seriously. He noted, quote, a well-wrapped statistic is better than Hitler's big lie. It misleads, yet it cannot be pinned on you. No area of commerce had greater need for a propaganda tool, quote, better than Hitler's big lie, than the newly invented multi-level marketing. It would need numbers and data in order to charge real money in exchange for something that is non-existent, opportunity for unlimited income from an infinitely expanding recruiting chain. As Arthur Leff explained, pyramid sellers hawk a mystical commodity on par with the salvation and prosperity promised by unscrupulous evangelists, or the dispensations and indulgences sold by corrupt medieval clerics. Such products are said to be infinite in quantity, but obtainable only through divinely licensed practitioners and deliverable only to those who pay the going price. Two intertwining cons were concocted by the founders and early developers of multi-level marketing to disguise the core pyramid scam. The first, the new sales model, is true direct selling, heir apparent to the Yankee peddler. The second, millions of people were actually gaining income. Casting themselves in the roles of patriotic dispensers of wealth, two leaders of the emerging MLM industry, Richard DeVos and Jay Van Andel, gained key leadership positions in the Republican Party and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Much credit for the MLM's triumph is attributable to its, quote, fluent and devious misuse of statistics to support these revered but utterly false identities of sales and creator of wealth, now frequently called job creator. Promotion was assigned to spin masters at the Direct Selling Association, DSA, the Washington, D.C.-based organization taken over by multi-level marketing companies in the 80s and 90s, and which now serves as its chief propagandist. Surveys were soon published by the DSA that seemed to show most people in MLM were making modest to extraordinary incomes. Research produced data that the median average income, half make more, half less, of all direct sellers was more than $2,400 per year. This particular statistic, though fictitious, in fact mathematically impossible, appears to have been carefully chosen to evoke a complex response. Some journalists, regulators, and consumer protection activists cite this DSA-sourced figure to show a reality of little or no income in MLM. The MLM promoters, however, understand the number produces the opposite effect on the public at large. As a median figure, it means that half make more. It is an average, and most people believe they are above average. Even as a baseline, it validates MLM's most important claim, that most people do make some income. On average, the data seem to prove, it is about $200 a month, but could be much, much more. In the real world of work and livelihood, an extra $200 a month or more is significant. It could be an insurance premium, a credit card bill, even a car payment. At an October 2016 presentation to the DSA, Edith Ramirez, the FTC chairperson, quoted this famous DSA statistic to its own members to make the case that, contrary to the ubiquitous and extravagant income claims by some MLM recruiters, few people gain income from MLM. She scolded the MLM promoters, quote, "The low incomes received by most MLM participants is something that the DSA itself acknowledged more than a decade ago." DSA cited a 2002 National Salesforce survey showing that the majority of direct sellers made less than $10,000 per year, with a median annual gross income of about $2,400, or only $200 per month. Ramirez perfectly demonstrated the spurious air of scientific precision that author Darrell Huff described. She apparently did not examine the DSA's data or citation. The DSA stated to the FTC, quote, "Over 13.6 million individuals sold for direct selling companies as independent contractors, with estimated retail sales of $29 billion in 2004. 59% of direct salespeople make less than $10,000 per year from direct selling." Thus, the DSA had claimed that 41% earned more than $10,000. 41% of 13.6 million is 5,576,000 direct salespeople. Using the absolute minimum of 10,000 would produce 55.7 billion in earnings just for the upper portion. This is nearly double the industry's total sales. Total earnings from all 13.6 million would have to be even more multiples of the amount the DSA claimed was the industry's entire retail sales. She had cited a statistic that seemed to have precision, but was economically and mathematically impossible. Knowing full well that 99% of all consumers actually make no net profit at all, and the true median income is zero, one can only imagine the reactions of DSA officials when they saw their concocted number repeated by the FTC itself. The reverse psychology it was designed to evoke had produced its intended effect, perhaps beyond their expectations. While $2,400 is only literally a low number as an annual income, when presented as extra and as an average, a subtext promise of high income is embedded. Knowing that the real figure was $10, DSA officials must have struggled to maintain straight faces when they heard Ramirez repeat data about the majority of direct sellers earning, quote, less than $10,000. On top of all this mathematical chicanery, the industry's annual revenue figure contains one other gross deception. It is based on, quote, estimated retail. Actual retail sales are unverified, and like the median income, are mathematically contradicted by other DSA data. In 2017, the DSA website informed consumers and regulators that 13 million of the total of 18.6 million direct sellers bought products at wholesale that were never resold. So who produced $34.9 billion in retail sales if 70% of the salespeople never sold anything? Recently, the DSA tried a new subterfuge. The absence of retail customers, a red flag of pyramid schemes, had been getting attention in the media and was highlighted during the controversies over Herbalife. In 2018, the DSA announced it used